Just thinking about it. Okay, we're up and going. Morning, everybody. Thank you again for waiting. Welcome to this licensing subcommittee. First item on the agenda is appointment of the chairman. Is there a proposer for chairman, please?
Can I propose Councillor Beryl as chair, please?
You can. Thank you, Councillor Cartwright. And a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Hayes. Councillor Beryl, you've been duly appointed chairman of this subcommittee. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for your attendance. Does anyone have any declarations of interest? And I'll take your silence as a no. Lovely. So introductions. So I'm Councillor Beryl, the chair of this committee today in the Kingsford North area. And if the subcommittee can introduce themselves also, please.
Yes, I'm Councillor Adrian Cartwright. I'm a ward member for Headlands in Northampton.
Hello, everyone. I'm Councillor Silas Hayes, and I'm a ward member for Billing.
And the clerk and legal advisor, please.
James Chadwick, I'm legal advisor to the panel hearing today.
And Ed Bostock, Democratic Services Officer.
Lovely. And the licensing authority staff, please.
Good morning. I'm Jack Coventry. I'm the licensing enforcement officer for West Northants.
Lovely. And can we have the applicant and objectors or representatives introduce themselves, please?
Hi, I'm Steve Ewer. I'm the applicant.
Thank you. Any objectors?
My name's Bev and I'm an objector.
Thank you very much. Okay, have all parties received a copy of today's agenda on the hearing? Again, I'll take your silence as a no. I beg your pardon, as a yes, sorry. Lovely. This hearing is in respect of the application for a variation of a premises license. I'd like to invite the licensing officer to introduce the report, please.
Good morning. I just introduced my report. The purpose of this report is to consider the application for a new grant of a premises licence for Mangrove Mini Market, 15 Collingwood Road, Abington, Northampton, NN1 4RD. The subcommittee is asked to determine the application for a grant of a premises licence as required by Section 18 of the Licensing Act 2003. A copy of the application can be found at Appendix A. The application for a premises licence was received on the 4th of December 2025 by the Licensing Department, Appendix A. 8 objections or representations were received during the 28-day notice period. These objections were checked for relevance against the licensing objectives. The objections / representations are evidenced in Appendix B. A further handwritten objection was handed into staff at 1 Angel Square. This objection is number 3 of 8 and is evidenced in Appendix D. All persons who objected were invited to the hearing. Councillor, if I may, 2 further members who would like to make representations haven't attended today. They were passed all the relevant details to attend, but I've just noticed that we've only got 1 out of the 3. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
Thank you.
The application seeks permission for the sale of alcohol off the premises only, Monday to Saturday from 10 AM until 12 midnight and Sunday 10 till 4 PM. On the 31st of December, the applicant emailed the licensing team to possibly accept the reduced opening hours of Monday to Saturday from 10 till 8 PM and Sunday till 4 PM. Please see Appendix C. The application is being made by Mr. Steve Ewers, who is also applying to be the designated premises supervisor. Mr. Ewers holds a current personal licence issued by West Northants Council. When an application for a premises licence or club premises certificate is received, a notice must be displayed at or near the premises and in local newspaper publication. This gives the responsible authorities and other interested parties a 28-day period for the opportunity to make representations in relation to the premises application. During the 28-day period, 8 relevant representations were received, Appendix B. Both the premises license applicant and individuals who submitted representations have been invited to attend the premises license hearing today. As I said, 2 don't appear to have attended. At the end of the consultation period, the local authority must hold a hearing. It must take steps that it considers appropriate for the promotion of the 4 licensing objectives, which are the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, the prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of children from harm. The steps the subcommittee can take are either to grant the premises license subject to conditions as appropriate, if it is considered necessary to promote the licensing objectives, to exclude any of the licensable activities, to refuse to specify a person as the premises supervisor, or to reject the application. I can go on to read the rest of the report, but I believe we've all read that part, and I think I'm just wasting our time by dragging that out.
Okay. So now going to hear the representation from each of the parties.
Councillors, oh sorry, can I just ask something? You said there was Jack, you said there was 2 people here. Sorry, 1 person here had made a representation. There seems to be 2 other people. Someone who's got the camera off called Leswa or Yeswa. I can't see what the name is.
Oh.
And someone who's on the camera, which doesn't have a name. It just says Samsung SM S721B. And I'm not sure if the person who's indicated his name is Dev. Is that a person that has made a relevant representation?
Yes, Dev is, and Leslie is, I believe. Yeah, Leslie is. The other one, obviously, I believe Samsung is just your name of your phone, so I couldn't say.
Samson is Mr. Kinder, by the way. I think he just needs to unmute so you're able to speak.
Okay. Thank you. I'll get the full names off you later, Jack, for the notice. Okay, thank you.
James, are you happy for us to continue with without these introductions?
Yes, Councillor. I was just trying to figure out who the other people in attendance were, because Jack had said there was only 1 person made a representation here, and there was 2 other people. So I was just wondering who they were and whether they were intending to want to address you or not. So thank you for that, but that's fine for now.
No problem, James. No problem. Okay, so we're going to move on now. So we're going to hear representations from each of the parties, please. All parties will have the opportunity to make their own representations later in the hearing. At the end of each presentation, you will get an opportunity to ask questions. Please keep your questions only to what you have just heard. I'd like to invite the objectors to make their own representation, please.
Right. Can I be? Are you hearing me? I'm not sure if this is working.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Right. My name's Mr. Gurmit Singh Kinder. I'm Northern Samsung. I'm not sure how to get my name up there. I'm the owner of the convenience store at 16 Collingwood Road. I wasn't aware initially when the application was made, the opening hours were 8 till 12 at night. I wasn't aware that they'd been reduced. So that would negate some of my objections. Hang on, let me just go through these. There are already 3 licensed premises within 100 yards, and I don't really see the need for another. And also, have the relevant checks been made, the DBS check been made? With off licenses, there is obviously more security issues. We want to know cameras or anything else been made to cover this associated with licensed premises. Like I said, a few of my objections are no longer relevant because the opening hours have been reduced. So also I'd like to ask the committee, is there a CIP in place covering our area?
James, would you be able to give us a bit of advice on that?
What's a DIP?
CIP, Cumulative Impact Policy.
No, there isn't.
Okay, that's fine. That's answered that query then. Right, and the other thing is that I initially wrote in and brought my objection down to the council offices. I've received nothing, no response, no acknowledgement. And if I hadn't been informed by other parties, I would not be here objecting about that. I wouldn't know that this application, about the meeting today, the Zoom meeting. So I'd like to know why I wasn't informed.
Okay, well, what we'll have to do in that respect is we'll have to come back to you after this hearing and work out exactly why there's been a breakdown in communication, because obviously you should have been made aware of this subcommittee here today. So we will get back to you on that, if that's okay with yourself.
Councillor, sorry, the licensing officer, enforcement officer may be able to help with that. Was the notice of hearing sent out to the parties?
I didn't receive anything.
No, sorry. Yeah, was the notice of hearing, the statutory notice of hearing sent out by the licensing team to the applicant and all the people who had made representations about the hearing today?
It was sent out, but unfortunately, because the note that was handed in, the representation, there was only a phone call. There were, I'm told, attempts to call, but we're currently looking into why this hasn't been communicated as well as it should have been. Obviously, I did make contact with, I believe, the relative yesterday about it after we finally managed to bottom out what had gone wrong. But we are still currently looking into that, and I will chase it up for you, okay?
Okay.
I do find that to be a little bit of an issue, because then we're not going to have a true representation of people within the area. Because obviously, if we're going to have a new licensed premises, this directly impacts all the people within the area. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Thank you for your comment, Des. Councillor Cartwright, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through you. Yeah, I'd just like to assure Mr. Kinder that we have his written message. It's page 27 on the agenda. It's the handwritten note that he gave in. So we do have the information that he was worried about.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I thank you, Adrian. I think it was more to do with the fact that he wasn't contacted in due course. I think that's where we are so far with that. Okay, so are you happy for us to move on, Mr. Kinder?
Just before we do, Chair, through you, looking at the letter, it looks like the address has been redacted. I can't tell if there's an email address on there, but it appears as if more than just a phone number may have been left, because if there's an address, obviously it could have been written to.
Okay, no, thank you very much.
The address was at the top of that letter.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's been redacted.
Okay, well, look, there's room for improvement on our communication sides, and we'll run through with Jack after this committee hearing. Thank you for your comments, and I think we should move on. So, are you happy? Do you have anything else to say, Mr. Kinder?
Yeah, there's only one other. I take it all the relevant checks have been carried out, the DBS checks and so on others that any applicant makes.
I think that's a question for Jack.
Yes, all relevant checks have been made via the police licensing team as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So, Dev, please come. You make your representations.
Yeah, my major concern is that the potential for antisocial behaviour within the area, just because of increased, as well as noise and increased consumption of alcohol within the immediate area. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but in and around the exact area is a very highly residential area. There's a few shops there, but not very many. So that's one of the concerns that I have. Also, I would like to bring up the parking issue that is always within the immediate area. Once it hits normally after 4:30, after school drop-offs, there is pretty much nowhere to park, and this potentially could increase double parking, and well, we don't want any traffic issues. And as you are well aware, there are a number of schools there, and there is a little bit of a hotspot in terms of the crossroads there, and this could actually cause issues. So that's one of my main issues.
Okay. Anything else to add, Dev? Are you happy?
I think if all the relevant checks have been,
and I think we've lost him. I think he's dropped off. Okay. So, are there any questions?
Hello, can you hear me again?
Yeah, you're back in the room, Dev. Yes, you're back in the room.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Apologies for that. I think those are my main concerns currently, and
Okay.
I do think that because you've got the shop at 16 Collingwood Road. You've also got the M&S, as well as I think there's 2 other stores that are selling alcohol within the area.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, are there any questions from?
So sorry to interrupt, Joe. Apologies. I just thought this as well. In terms of the communication to the other people within the area, well, if they were not aware of the meeting, I think that's a bit concerning, because then they can't represent themselves. And the only reason we found out, because obviously due to work and being able to attend the meeting, I had to rearrange my day a little bit. And obviously other people within the area, maybe it's not so easy for them to rearrange their day. So that's another concern.
No, we'll take your points on board, and we'll certainly have a discussion with our legal team, James Chadwick, after this committee. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
I can just provide a short explanation now to the person. The consultation processes in respect of the Licensing Act 2003 applications are prescribed by law. So the only thing that has to happen is a notice has to go up in the window of the premises in question, and then anyone is free to make a relevant representation about the application within a period of 28 days. If they do then make a relevant representation and it's accepted, then they'll become a party to proceedings, and they may appear before at the hearing and address the members about that representation. But if people don't make a relevant representation, they're not a party, and they wouldn't have any ability to address the subcommittee. So the instance of any other local residents who may not have made a relevant representation and attendance at this committee is irrelevant, really, because they wouldn't have been able to address the members anyway. It would only be people like yourself who, within a period of 28 days, wrote to the council and said, this is what I'm concerned about with this application. So the council has done everything that it's required to do by law in respect of this application. Thank you, Chair. Sorry about that. I thought it was best to briefly clear that up.
100%. It's best to clarify it now rather than later if we can. And thank you for clarifying that. So are there any questions from the licensing officers?
No further questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the applicant? Again, I'll take your silence as a no. Are there any questions from the subcommittee?
I have a question that came from one of the objectors with regards to cameras and security. I know that we've lightly touched upon, has everything been achieved? But when you look into the CCTV requirements, you must have good coverage, entry, exit. The images must be suitable for evidence. The storage must be for a minimum of 31 days, etc. I'm just checking, I guess, with Jack to ensure that all of those requirements have been achieved.
Yeah, they will be achieved. Obviously, we're working on a basis that it's not actually a premises license yet, but we will be going around to do relevant checks. We are made. Sorry.
So it's possible for somebody to be approved and then they have to put the things in place.
No, they would always be expected to be, and the police will have done their relevant checks first. So we work within the police licensing team as well. So they will be, as you can see on the application, it's covered. But it's one of my roles to go around and do relevant checks to make sure that as part of the enforcement team, we go around and make sure the CCTV is in place, not just CCTV, but such as like the refusal books, and should an under 18 come in and try and be served, things like that have to be in place. There's a number of things. Sorry,
I'm happy. Thank you. That's great.
Thank you, Councillor. So I'd like to invite the applicant at this stage to make their representations, please.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm applying for a license to sell alcohol. I'm not sure why these objections. Eight people. Dev has already said that it's a very busy area, but yet still we've only had 8 objections. That's not many objections in such a busy area. And the fact that whether I sell alcohol or not is not going to make any difference to the parking in the area, because the shop is going to open whether it sells alcohol or not. And if it wasn't my shop, if another shop came in, or another shopkeeper came in that place, whether they were selling alcohol or not, they're still going to have customers. So the issue is not going to go away whether it's alcohol or no alcohol, just because of parking.
My objection was that because of the later time in the day. So you are correct if the shop is not there, but the only other shop that is open later on in the evening when there is a lot more traffic, i.e. cars parked up and people coming back from work, is after that time. The only other shop that is open on that parade past 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I believe, is one store. So that was my objection.
Dev, please, if you could refrain your questions, you will have an opportunity to speak shortly.
Oh, apologies. Okay. Sorry, I thought that was directed at me.
No. We'll get to you, mate. We'll get to you eventually. Thank you.
No problem.
So, the applicant has made the representation. Are there any questions for the applicant from the licensing officer?
No more questions.
Right, no questions. Thank you. Are there any questions from the objectors? Please, Dev. Any questions?
No, other than what I replied back to for now.
Thank you. Mr. Kunde, you happy?
Could you just repeat the obviously when it was first the application was advertised, the opening hours have changed. Could you just repeat the new opening hours? Sorry, did you hear me?
Yeah, I think he's dropped off slightly. Are you there, Steve? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. I didn't know it was approaching me.
Yeah. The questions for.
Okay. The opening hours are 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on a Sunday.
Thank you very much for clarifying.
Can I just say something? As I explained to I think it was Jack Coventry that I initially emailed. The reason why I put the hours that I put initially was in case there was room for expansion of the opening hours, but the initial hours were always going to be until 8 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from the subcommittee?
No.
Adrian Cartwright, no? Sorry, Adrian.
No, thank you. Yeah, I was still muted. 2 mute switches here. Thank you. Yeah, it just answered the question I was going to ask.
Yeah, I think that question was at the forefront of all of our minds, was clarification of the opening hours. Yeah, so thank you for clarifying that. So do all parties will now have the opportunity to sum up. Would you like to, you do not need to repeat yourself in full, but feel free to sum up, please. Licensing officer.
No, I don't feel we need to explain any further. We've covered all the points. I think I'd like to thank Steve for clarifying the opening times better, because I know there was a bit of confusion and back and forth about what was on the application and what was actually requested. So thank you for clarifying that. No, I don't feel there's anything more to sum up at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. So the objectors, in summary, please, and please be brief. Are you happy you've had sufficient time, or would you like to add anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much summed up everything that I was going to say.
Thank you. Dev?
Nothing from myself.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So if everyone has had the opportunity to sum up, would the applicant sum up, done that, objector done? Have you had sufficient opportunity to say everything you wish to the subcommittee? Steve, please, the applicant.
Yeah, I think so, because like I said, the objection about the time has already been clarified as being reduced. The objection about the street parking is, to me, is irrelevant, because no matter what business goes in that premises, they're going to have customers regardless.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And one last thing, alcohol is not my main line of business. My main line of business is fresh Caribbean food. That is the main line of the business.
No, yep, thank you for clarifying. So if that's the case, then the subcommittee will now retire to make our decision. The decision of the subcommittee will be communicated to all parties in writing within 5 working days of this hearing. Details of how to make an appeal against the decision of the subcommittee